Elementary Leaders and Helpers for SunSparks Labs VBS. This is day 3's science experiment for your classroom. Today's classroom activity or science experiment is called Bubble Up, and our theme today is transformation. So the concept that we're going to be teaching our kids is that transformation occurs when something new is introduced to an existing object and then changes that object. That's a lot of words, and probably preschoolers may not quite understand that right yet, but hopefully they will after this experiment. The idea for our Christian life is that Jesus changes us, that when we accept Jesus, when we trust on Him, He changes us, He transforms us. So you will have a plastic container of some sort. You will have a couple of water bottles full of vinegar, and then you will have a Tupperware full of baking soda. So today's experiment the teacher will run. You can have a couple of classroom helpers. You're in the middle of the week, so you probably have a couple of kids who really are paying attention and behaving themselves, and or whatever. You use this as a discipline tool if you need to. Choose a couple of helpers, but really mostly you're going to be showing the kids this experiment. So you'll want to have the table in your classroom, and you want to have the kids kind of come around the table so they can all see what's happening in here. So you'll have 2 cups. One cup will be lined with the a marking of where you put the baking soda, and one cup will be lined with a marking of where you put the vinegar, and there's a V or a BS on them, so it'll be pretty clear. And so what you'll do, you have enough to probably do 3 or 4 of these experiments a couple different times if you want. So you'll have baking soda first, and you'll add your 1/4 cup of, or just put your baking soda in to fill up the line, and then dump it into your container. That's something you can have your kids do. Just you put it into here and then have them dump it. So the first thing you're going to do is dump your baking soda in. Now, the first time we're going to do this, you don't want to put anything but the baking soda in. I'm going to see if I can. Hopefully this will work. But if you do it 2 or 3 times, you're going to have food coloring in your classroom. If you put a couple of drops of food coloring into the baking soda, when this reaction happens, it'll create a colored foam. So you'll also have, again, like I said, a cup full that'll have a V line. Pour your vinegar into it, and then you can assist a child in helping him pour the vinegar into the baking soda, and you'll see what happens. So what you'll talk to the kids about, and this is all written in your book, of course, but you have a solid and a liquid. And what happens when we put the liquid into the solid, let's see. Oh no, it will foam up. Your tubs are much bigger than my tub, so you won't have that problem. But basically what happens is it creates a gas. So the liquid into the solid creates a gas, and that's kind of like what Jesus does to us. He completely transforms our life. He changes us from what we once were into something completely new. And so you can do this experiment a couple of times. What I would suggest doing is you have, like I said, you have big white tubs in your classroom to do this. When you put your baking soda in, put it in a mound, and then, pour this over the mound. And then I'd pour the first experiment out, down the sink, and then start fresh, because otherwise it'll just become kind of a soppy mess. But, the second or third time, put some color in it and just, give them some fun. Anyways, so once you've gone through the experiment and you've showed them this visually, you've showed them this concept of transformation, you can then go into your story questions. And sorry, I guess I could talk to you. You can go into your story questions and ask them, some of those retention questions of what happened in the story today and why that's so important for our lives. So, again, you won't have such a crazy mess as I did, but it should be fun. So thank you so much.